I mean, in this group, she played nothing but ZvPs. All of her opponents was Protoss here, and yeah, for the rest of the tournament, that was pretty much the same story. But regardless, we are going to be... Oh, this is casted by a Sea-Boy. Good to see. We are going to be jumping into Waterfall. We're, of course, here in the top right-hand corner of the map, running all the way. In that top right-hand corner, we have our red Zerg player coming out from the land of Canada. Oh, God. She is going to be representing Shopify Rebellion. She is Scarlett.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Waterfall, we have her opponents. We have the blue Protoss player representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. It is JieShi.
Man, something about JieShi towards the end of the year, not just this year, but like last year, the year before that, something about winter always kind of gives him a little bit of a boost. I remember just this Sunday, we were very impressed with him in ESL Open Cup. I think taking a map off of Solar, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he, I believe, made it to the top 4 of ESL Open Cup Asia. Like, he's been doing really well for himself. Bringing down some big names.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, but we'll see if he can continue that streak here. So far, nothing too crazy, other than the fact that we are loading into Waterfall, a very small map, a map that does favor aggression. And I know Scarlett has come out and said that, you know, she's quite fond of Waterfall on some of these matchups, just because it does allow her to be kind of more in the face of her opponents.
Yeah, as long as it's not a ZvT, it's good.
True. Oh boy, as we do see JieShi just, you know, opening up quite standard here. Scarlett was able to get her natural up and running, so her natural is a natural.
Yeah. No pylon blocks and nothing. It's a little bit less annoying for the Zerg player as the game continues. But at the same time, you know, nothing out of the ordinary. Hatch gas pool coming out from Scarlett. Gateway core coming out from JieShi.
Yeah, exactly. But straight away we do see a Twilight Council as a follow-up from JieShi. So interesting. Not going to be going for a Stargate like we usually expect.
No, expect is the other player.
Also,
he plays Saren. Anyway, yes. Anyway, yeah. But I guess this is JieShi kind of using the map to his advantage. Like you said, it's a very short and small map. Very short rush distance. You can really get into the face of your opponent. And why not take advantage of that to go for Glaives instead of going for those Oracles?
Yeah, and we'll see if Scarlett can slip on into the main base. One Ling already goes down, but looking at the vision, there we go. We have a full scout of the main. We have confirmation that it is, of course, Glaives.
Yeah, how many gates, though, is going to be that question. How committed is JieShi going to be?
Yeah, so a couple things to take note of is that if you do go for a 3-gate glaive at Eps, you do pull out of gas, and we only have 2 and 2 in the main base. And I believe Scarlett was able to click on those gas geysers and or at least notice that we didn't have 3 probes in gas. So she should be able to deduce that it shouldn't be blink, for example. And of course it isn't charge, otherwise it'd pull out of gas entirely. So she's been able to get a lot of information already. She just has to figure out again how committed this is going to be.
Wait, is that a thing? Should you click on the geyser? Or not the geyser, but the building on the gas?
You can click on the gas guys to see how much has been mined.
Wait, then you have to do math. Okay. Yeah. I'm not doing this when I play. Okay.
You're like, nah, mate, I'm good. Counting gas? I'm out, mate. I'm done.
You're like, oh yeah, it's a really neat tip. All you need is like, you know, basic math. And I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Fair enough, Papi. It's not for everyone. Don't worry about it. You don't need it. Oh my god. As we do have the Roach Warren already finishing up, we have plenty of links to chase these shades, and again, it was only 3 gateways, so very light commitment into these glaive adepts. It's more important really for JieShi to keep these alive and make sure that the links of Scarlett don't go for a counterattack.
Like so.
Oh, the Lings, they do get a kill on that shield battery. They're going to be able to get a surround on maybe even the Nexus, and they force JieShi to respond.
Yeah, he was hesitating for a quick second, but now he decides he does want to commit. He does want to see what he can get away with, but unfortunately, that moment of hesitation did allow Scarlett to get a bunch of roaches out, get a couple more Lings out, really shore up her defenses.
Yeah, exactly. As more roaches are being made here, more drones as well. Like, this adept count isn't quite high enough to be as threatening as I'm sure he would have liked to. Meanwhile, the Lings, they just bypass the adepts entirely, and they're going for another run by.
Yeah, just hit where your opponent's not at.
Oh my god, speaking of, we do see the adepts being bunched up here. The Biles do barely miss the adepts, but they are trapped.
Very unfortunate shade timing over there for JieShi. A lot of his adepts are going to go down. He does keep a number of them alive, though, so he may be able to make use of the shield battery in SimCity to defend against this counterattack.
Yeah, but at the same time, here we go. We do have an overcharge, and the Biles are going to be connecting here with the army. Not so much that overcharge, so he's going to be able to help keep these alive. At the same time, Lynx tried to go for a run by, but we did have a force field at the natural.
Yeah, very nicely defended here from JieShi, but there's still the Ravagers and the Lynx to worry about in the third base. Shield battery is out of energy. There's no overcharge available, and this third is completely forfeit.
Yeah, it really is. Oh my god, the Biles even connecting there with that sentry. And with the reinforcing Lings, it looks like the Adepts are about to get on top of these Ravagers, but no, it is not going to be enough. Scarlett has too many reinforcements.
And she is just flooding in everything. 18 Lings on the way. Once again, very small map. You can really get into your opponent's face as quickly as possible. I'm starting to see now why she likes this map so much. GG. Scarlett takes game number 1.
GG. On Waterfall, when momentum swings in a certain direction, it can be really difficult to stop that and to try and stabilize. And unfortunately, JieShi, going for a very interesting opener, wasn't able to hide it. He wasn't able to keep that hidden from Scarlett, and she was able to respond beautifully.
Yeah, again, I really like the logic behind this. I really like how JieShi kind of thought this build out on Waterfall. You don't need to be hanging back. You don't need to be, well, evidently you do need to be a little bit defensive, but you don't need to be defensive if you take the offensive first, and you can get away with that more on Waterfall. That's more of what I was trying to say there, but yeah, unfortunately for JieShi here, I guess there were a couple of things he didn't really account for, like just how aggressive Scarlett wanted to be.
Yeah, like typically when you go for these Twilight Council openers, a lot of them do kind of succeed off of a surprise factor. And that's also why usually we see like a Stalker opening to try and deny any kind of Overlord scouting, and we focus on walling off as well. But it was the first 2 Lings of Scarlett that slipped on in and saw everything that she needed to see, and she was able to, just respond. Solid reaction from Scarlett.
Yeah, really was. And you know what they say? The Zerg player who reacts is the Zerg player who does what you're meant to do.
There you go.
That's what you're meant to do, yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. As we are going to be heading into game number 2.
Indeed, we are this time going to be on Data Under the Sea, a much, much, much more defensive map. We'll see if that comes into play here, as in the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way in that bottom left-hand corner, we have a red Zerg player coming down all the way from the land of Canada, representing Shopify Rebellion. We have Scarlett.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Data Under the Sea, we have her opponent, the blue Protoss player, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming. It is JieShi.
Oh boy. I have a feeling we're going to see something a bit more orthodox this time. So a bit more Stargate driven.
Uh-huh. Well, we'll see if JieShi can get there, because I don't know if you noticed, but Scarlett went for a pool first opener.
I actually didn't notice until you pointed it out. Appreciate it.
Oh my god. So Scarlett's interesting. Going for a pool hatch gas. It is relatively safe. If she was getting cannon rushed, or if Scarlett was getting proxied, she'd be able to shut it down pretty hard. So a very defensive opener here from Scarlett.
Yeah. Which is about to be expected after how game number 1 went. Playing the player a little bit, you know, expecting a little bit more aggression coming out from JieShi, and I can't say I blame Scarlett for thinking that way, and I also wouldn't blame JieShi if he was gonna, you know, be a bit more aggressive as well in the series. Again, he is kind of the underdog here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, he's here in the winners match, of course, and he definitely has earned his place, but Scarlett is a world-class player, and I'm sure he's fully aware of it. So Scarlett is going to be taking a bit of an economic hit earlier on, just because of her delayed hatchery, but it's not the biggest of deals. It's not like she opened up with a 12 pool or a 14 pool or anything like that. So she's just going to be trying to make use of these first handful of links as they go across the map to scout.
Oh, but a wall is a wall.
Yeah, this time JieShi doing a much better job at keeping the links out of the main base and keeping Scarlett in the dark.
Now she has to rely on the Overlord, but she doesn't want to sneak the Overlord in, because what if there's a Stalker?
What if? As JieShi across the map does scout himself, he actually doesn't have eyes on the third base, so he's not entirely certain that Scarlett isn't going for a 2-base all-in or something like that as well, so I'm sure he's going to be a little bit tentative moving on forward. As you called it, Yaku, he is going for a Stargate.
Aha! Prediction, goat.
Shaking my head. Shaking my head, Yaku, shaking my head. As, yeah, we'll see if we get a Void Ray or an Oracle first here. Again, you were kind of predicting more standard play from JieShi, but, oh, Void Ray.
Void Ray, he talked to Mana. And with a Twilight Council follow-up as well. This is not a very orthodox opening coming up from JieShi.
Yeah, not at all. Oh my god. So the Void Ray, of course, its goal here, its job, is to take down this Overlord and keep Scarlett in the dark, as he's very quickly transitioning into very ground-heavy play.
Yeah, that's 3 more gates being thrown down.
Yeah.
This is reminiscent a little bit of 2021.
Yeah, I mean, we do see JieShi moving out here with his probe. I'm curious if he really even intends to expand. The probe goes down. I feel like he wanted to fake out that he wanted to take a third base.
Yeah, we'll see if it works here. Oh, good.
Yeah, there we go.
Unless it's a double fake out. He gets a third base after the Lings die.
True.
And now yeah?
Oh my god, but the Lings, they rock up as well. They do get a kill on that probe. It looks like they're going to be able to get a surround on the Adept as well.
Yeah, able to kill one of them. Oh, he's trying to sneak in, and he will be able to, the Lings will be able to slip into that main base. Scarlett sees everything.
She sees the mass gateways, and this is the major difference between this game and last game. Last game on Waterfall, JieShi went for 3-gate Glaive Adept. This is off of 4 gates, so he's going to have that much more production. He's that much more committed to Adepts. He's going to be sending them all across the map, and as you see, Yaku, he has DTs as a follow-up.
I like how you could tell that just from my gasp.
It's true.
We all gasp a little bit when we see the Dark Shrine in the production tab.
Yeah, but again,
I'll say a pretty solid follow-up.
It is a solid follow-up, but Scarlett also saw a lot of this already, so she's getting ready for the 4-gate Glaive Adepts. We already have Roaches in production, we have Queens on the way, we have Lings as well. These Adepts shouldn't deal too much damage. Really, JieShi's relying more on Scarlett messing up her defense.
Yeah, and that's kind of hard to foresee happening. I mean, Scarlett, she's already well defended, has Spine Crawlers in the mineral line. She already is producing a ton of Roaches. JieShi commits to the Shade, and I'm not sure if that was the right call.
Yeah, I mean, he does get 4 drones, and that's definitely something. That is not enough, though, to really pay for all of these Adepts. We do see the Roaches coming out. They do focus down a decent amount of these Adepts already, as they are recalled.
Yeah. So these Adepts haven't quite paid for themselves yet, but at the very least, they're still alive.
They are still alive, which means they'll be able to defend this third base from a counterattack that Scarlett, I imagine, will eventually be working towards, as she is cutting drones. She was cutting drones pretty earlier, and she's still not droning after that. She's making more lings, by the way.
Yeah, initially, you kind of think, okay, Zerg players cutting drones just to get more units to defend, but to not produce drones afterwards? Scarlett wants to go full-on counterattack mode.
Yeah, oh boy, she's going for a massive all-in, and I want to say all-in because her worker count is lower than that of JieShi right now. She's waddling her queens across the map. We have roaches, we have more lings on the way. All JieShi has to do is defend, and with DTs, he may be able to do so with need detection.
Yeah, only one Overseers in production right now. Scarlett has to pull back a little bit. She has to wait a little while before she gets all of that production. She's sending every single Overlord across the map.
Yeah,
turn them all into Overseers. Why not?
She's setting up that creep highway. There we go. Queens are coming as well. Shield batteries are not ready in time.
And this is absolutely punishing. Scarlett's even able to sneak around her lings to try to go for a full-on flank and sandwiching here.
Yeah, she's getting ready for this. She has to wait out this overcharge. At the same time, I believe the DT did get across the map, does slip into the main base, is going to be dealing some counter damage. But what about this third? As soon as that overcharge runs out, I imagine she's going to pull the trigger.
Like so. Slips into the natural base, actually. With all of her lings. This was a red herring.
I thought she was going to surround the army. Instead, she sees an opening. We see lings in the natural, lings in the main base. The main army is breaking in towards that third. We do have a Void Ray, but that's why the queens are here.
Man, all of those drones that died across the map are being avenged by the lings here of Scarlett.
They really
40 probes. 42.
And after the lings are done in the main and the natural, they can come back towards the third and help out here. There's just barely anything left. We do have a couple of DTs. I don't know if we have any detection, but there we go. It's not enough.
GG is called. Scarlett tops her group, taking that series 2-0.
GG, well played. Some interesting builds from JieShi overall. Trying to make some glaive adepts work, but every single time, like Scarlett, she was so good with her link control. She was so good with her timings of just slipping on in and just scouting.
Yeah, very, very diligently. Didn't even need to seek in an overlord. Those lings, they're slippery.
Yeah. Didn't even need them. Oh my god. GG, well played. Scarlett does make it out of her group in first place, and oh yeah, JieShi gets knocked down to that elimination match instead.
Yeah, where he is going to face Zaun in a little bit of a rematch. Already beat him once. Can he beat him again?
Oh boy.
No looking at the bracket for spoilers.
Oh boy, exactly. As with that, yeah. Honestly, I'm really glad. This is why I wanted to cover so many matches, you know, in Group Stage 1 and here in Group Stage 2 as well. A lot of these weren't broadcasted. You were touching on it, right? Like this series was casted by SC Boy in Chinese or in Mandarin.
Yeah.
A lot of the
over on Douyu.
Yeah, a lot of the Polish matches were covered by Indie as well, in Polish. But these matches weren't casted in English. Which is unfortunate. Not without trying, of course. It's just there were so many games going on at once at DreamHack. It was impossible to cover everything, and a lot of really good matches were missed. And yeah, I don't regret covering them today. Like we had a lot of really sick series. Like I feel like Mana was like the star of today's show, even though he didn't make it out first in his group. Like he had a lot of fun.
Such a bully.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely was. From start to finish, I still remember seeing that Proxy Thor very, very early on from Dolan, giving me a little bit... Yeah, definitely a bit of a highlight. Just highlights throughout the entire evening. Throughout all of these matches. I'm so glad that we were able to get some eyes on them.
Yeah, we had some base trades as well mixed in. We had some nice proxies. We had some timing attacks. We had proxy 111 for Christ's sake. We had proxy 4Gate. We had oh my god.
You still committed to the proxy.
Yeah,
Sure it did.
we had
Even after it got scouted and denied.
we had Thor drops. We had more standard mech games as well, and standard play between
Ninja Gold several times.
I forgot about the Ninja Gold bait. Oh my god, it was wild. It was wild. So yeah, I hope everyone had a great time. If you missed out on some of those games, then check out the VODs. They're definitely worth checking out if you're interested. I know a lot of people aren't too fond of VODs because you're not experiencing it live, but regardless, this
you're not even we're not even casting these live.
It's true. To be fair, they weren't casted. They weren't casted in English at all, but that's fine.
You might as well round up the VOD.
There you go.
What is that, VOD squared?
There you go.
If you're watching a VOD of a replay cast, that's something squared.
Regardless, thank you so much everyone for tuning in. I hope everyone had a great time with us, and thank you as well, Yaku, for joining me. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you as well for being here and inviting me. That's how the phrase normally goes. Definitely some very fun series that we got here.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And with that, Yaku, why don't you let the people know where can they find you? Where can they find you?
!Discord in the chat is probably the best way to reach me right now. That takes you to the CranKy Ducklings Discord server. I'm there, Light is there, Koro's there, Seal is there, everyone's there, mate. And that twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1. I'll probably stream at some point in December, eventually. So yeah, maybe keep an eye on that. But if not, then I will be announcing if and when I do go live over at twitter.com @EmperorYakuzaku. So follow me there if you want to be alerted when I do go live eventually.
There you go. Yaku, he has been really busy this year with studies, but now that we're getting towards December, he should be streaming. Pressure him to stream one of these days.
Pressure.
There you go. Otherwise, he's always going to be here casting whenever he can as well. I believe our next broadcast is going to be in less than 24 hours. We're going to be continuing Group Stage 2. I'm going to be casting alongside Asherber. So he's going to be tagging on in tomorrow instead.
Yeah, rounding off that second group stage. After that, it's Group Stage 3 and the knockout bracket. No, wait. Yeah, Group Stage 3 and the knockout bracket.
Yep, exactly. A lot more to come here for the DreamHack matches. Meanwhile, you can follow me at @light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I do stream throughout the week. I was going to stream today, but because, of course, we had a pretty big cast waiting for us, I decided to hold off on it just in case to preserve my voice. But I should be back in the coming days if you're interested in some Zerg ladder gameplay. It's not amazing. We smooch. We're always smooch. So you can drop by there if you're interested. Otherwise, if you're only interested in our casting and in the tournaments that we broadcast, then follow us here on the CranKy Ducklings, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord. We're all over the place. Follow us everywhere to be notified for when we go live.
In the streets.
In the sheets.
What?
Oh my god.
Everywhere.
Yeah, let's go. As again, our next cast is going to be tomorrow. I'll be casting with Asher. And then after that, I believe it'll be World Team League, WTL. So,
ooh.
Oh boy. Yeah. A long
final round of groups.
Yes, the final week of the round robin group stage. So a very important week. Very important.
Yeah. A lot of teams are still a little bit up in the air to see who advances to the playoffs and who is going to be not advancing, the opposite of advancing. No.
Relegated.
Relegating, yes.
Exactly. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you so much for the support as well. Give some love to Asher. He's streaming as we speak, so we're going to be giving him a bit of a raid, and you can tune in to the smojing.
Oh yeah, I recommend that you do, and I recommend that you don't bring up triggers like lunkers.
Like lunkers, yeah. Or queens. Or any Zerg unit, really. Until then, Yaku, do you have anything you want to say before we head off for the night?
Argentina plays tonight.
Oh, against who?
Netherlands.
Oh, let's get Messi.
Let's go, Messi.
Right.
Messi for Messi.
Yes, we'll see you guys there. Until then, ciao. Ciao.
Bella.